In this section, we're going to take a look at working with and editing photos in Canva. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you how you would upload a new photo into Canva. What you'll do is on the left menu, you'll open up a file and then you'll go to the Uploads tab and click Upload Files. So I'm going to upload this photo. And any picture that you upload will show up here in your upload photos, and they'll remain here until you delete them. The other thing that you can do is, let's say I wanted a different picture, maybe this one. You can also copy and paste into Canva. And so if I go ahead and paste here, it will actually put the photo in your document, but it also puts it in uploads. So even if I delete it here, I'm still going to see it over here in uploads, and I can drag it in at any time. So let's take a picture and actually just work on it to edit it. First of all, I can resize this, make it as large or as small as I want on the canvas. And then when I get into editing, I'm going to actually come up here and I'm going to click Edit Photo. And now I have some tools that I can use to do some photo editing here. The first thing I want you to notice is at the very top. Number one, the first tab we have is all the different effects that you can add. And so there will be a lot of different filters and effects, and we'll take a look at those in a second. The other one is adjusting. This is where you can adjust like the brightness of the picture. So you can like make it darker or brighter. You could change the contrast if you needed to. You can add some color into it, make it sharper. So you do have some options here, and you can also edit just the whole picture, the foreground of the picture, or the background. So if I wanted to say like the background only, it actually, let's make the background darker. See how it's just darkening the background now and not the foreground. So that's a really nice option that it will automatically kind of pull the foreground and background for you. Now I want to just check out crop. So cropping does also allow you to, of course, you can rotate your pictures in any way you want using the rotating options here. But you can also use the crop feature as well. Oops, I didn't mean to click out of that. So cropping is going to allow you to cut out parts of the picture. So whatever is in the crop screen is what's going to remain part of the photograph. So I'm going to try to get the large candelabra out of it, and I'm going to say done. And now let me just resize that a little bit smaller. But that large candelabra is now not part of the picture. Okay, let's head back up to Edit Photo, and let's take a look at some of the options that we have in the Effects section. So number one is the background remover, which I do really like. This is a pro feature, so you have to have a subscription in order to get it. But if you choose the background eraser, it will automatically remove the background from your photographs. So now if you wanted to add a new picture, a new photograph, or like a new background, let's see if I've got something here that would work. Okay, we're gonna add this, and I'm gonna just say we're gonna go to layer, and we're gonna say send that to the back. And so now I'm gonna put Martin Luther King in front of the Italian Colosseum. So it's just a nice option that, let's get rid of this now, that Canva does allow you to actually remove the backgrounds for these photos. That's an awesome tool. One of the things that when you're using the background eraser is that you'll also notice that you have access to things like the Magic Eraser tool, which is kind of a tool that is really something that you mainly use and like you have access to in a program like Photoshop. But if I use it, it will actually select based on color. And so what this is probably going to do now is, let's actually get rid of this. It's actually going to erase parts of my picture. not doing the best job erasing this. If you notice, it's kind of, you're supposed to color over the part that you want to erase. And let's give it another shot. Okay, now it's going away. So this allows you to just kind of erase small parts of the background if you didn't want to erase the entire thing. If you'll notice, it's not 100%. You may sometimes have to erase items more than once for them to actually disappear. Let's get rid of this big line up here too. It's kind of hard. Also, you don't want to like erase his hair here, so you want to use a steady hand. But as soon as I highlight it, I just let go of my mouse and it tries to erase it for me. Okay, so that's the magic eraser. You can also do some other things here, like you'll notice there's a lot of different filters that you can choose. So this doesn't have as many because it's a black and white photo. You would have more if it was a color photo. But you know, I can actually add different effects to this just by clicking on them. So I can kind of like warm up the picture with different tones. In addition, you can look at some of the effects that you have. Like there are some options. You can add shadows to your pictures. You can automatically focus or blur a picture or actually change the tone of it. Another option that is kind of interesting is to go to the mockup section. And this kind of allows you to, like for instance, if I wanted to put this picture on the computer screen, what you're going to do is drag and drop your image. It's the easiest way to do this from the Uploads tab. And you basically are going to take this picture and I'm going to drag it and just drag it on top of this. And it's going to take a minute. But it put my photograph in. So Martin Luther King photograph is now part of the computer screen. Okay, and now I do have some options here. So I can, like, if I wanted to kind of flip this around, I can kind of play around with this here. We flipped it vertically. I could like have it fit or fill the actual computer screen. You can kind of change some of the options here. And if you wanted to change it, just say clear mockup. Just takes a minute, and now I'm back to normal again. But I could take any picture in my uploads and I could add it here. So let's say I even wanted like the FM logo in here. Just drag it right in. Just takes a minute for it to load and actually add it in. And now I have an FM computer screen. Now, once you've done a bunch of playing around with your pictures, and let's say I wanted to actually save this as an image file. One of the things that I might want to do is kind of get rid of the white background here, or else that'll be part of my picture. So I could resize my image. Like right now, this is an 8x10, but like, let's say I wanted it to be, let's say a 7x5. Okay, and I'm just going to say copy and resize. And so what I might want to do is actually take this picture now, if this is what I want to use as my creation, and I'm going to want to fill it in to the entire picture size here. So let's go ahead and do that. So once I've kind of filled the screen, now I could save this as an image file by clicking on share, and I'm going to go to download, and I'm going to suggest, instead of normally we recommend that you download these as PDF files, but you can actually choose to export them as an image file, such as a JPEG or a PNG are typical image files. So if I wanted to do it as a JPEG, I can actually make the quality size even larger, but I'm just going to go ahead and hit download. It's going to prompt me to where I want to save this. Okay, so I'm just going to call it MLK pic, and it's going to go on my desktop. So as you can see, it's saved it as a JPEG file. And when you go to open this, it's not a PDF document, it's an actual photo, so it's going to open up in the photo viewer. So it's a really kind of an interesting way to be able to like upload and edit and create photos, because you do have a lot of the features that you might see in like a Photoshop, but they're much simpler to use when you're working in Canva.